Saturday, April 6th, 2024, and I'm heading to the gym. So, okay, it's been, baby's exactly 3 months old, you know, born J6, today is A6. I don't know, everyone is, there was an article in The Economist about about the explosion of abbreviations and acronyms and, you know, people just shortcutting the language, you know, so I'm guilty of that myself, you know, but yeah, so I was on Facebook last night, and there's this like Lviv travel group, Lviv expat group, I don't know. I left a few of them because there's a lot of the people in those groups are pretty nutty, you know, and it just eats all your time. But someone was asking about safety. How safe is it to travel to Ukraine? And I answered, as usual, if you watch my videos, you know, I'm just hang on, let me just check, yeah. I test the audio, but it's always a little bit, can be a little bit unsure at times. I haven't charged the microphone, but it's supposed to be 7 hours. It's supposed to have a 7-hour battery in there. So we're kind of testing that, and I don't think I've done more than an hour of recording. But anyway, so yeah, they were asking about the safety of safety to travel to Ukraine, and I said, you know, Lviv. They were more specific about Lviv, and I said Lviv is safe, just as I would say safer than crossing the road, you know, in any big city in America or even here, and it's safer than going to a Walmart in the U.S. I mean, it is. It's okay here. You know, last year we had some issues with the electricity, you know, the water, you know. I mean, the gas was running. You know, we didn't lose gas last year, but this year it's been pretty good. This year, you can see people have set up a lot of generators here, but they haven't been used. I mean, even the kindergarten put in one of these big generators, and they haven't been using it. And we're almost through the winter, you know, when you need it the most. So yeah, it's okay here, you know. Like I said, there's other things to worry about, like the bus, you know, or the train to get here. I documented my experience on the train. You know, that the train sucks. You know, I mean, you start out on a nice, you know, if you're leaving Ukraine, you start out on a nice Ukrainian Railways train. They got this modern German thing going on. You know, the sleek looking train, all comfortable inside. And then you get to Rava-Ruska, and then they put you in this like 1939 boxcar, and one of the bathrooms is broken, and there's like 150 people on the train, so there's this long line to use the bathroom. And I would almost suggest, you know, wear an adult diaper. I'm not even kidding. You know, I would suggest, yeah, if you're gonna take that train coming in, so you leave Warsaw and you get to Rava-Ruska, and altogether that trip is like 8 or 10 hours. It's a long trip. I don't know why it takes all the day. I mean, but yeah, once you switch over to that Polish Railways, and that was a real shock. We all think Poland is like the next Germany or something modern, and then they put you on this train, and it's like, I think maybe they're trying to discourage people coming to Poland or something. I don't know. But it was like just wasn't a good experience. So like I said, if you're older and your biorhythms aren't you know, set, wear a diaper. Wear an adult diaper. You know, and you know, it's because like I said, or you know, I would suggest maybe it'd be more bearable if you can get to Lublin. And then from Lublin, you know, you switch over to a blah car, you know, so you can stop over, get some rest, get some food. I mean, there wasn't even, they had like one guy, like the conductor, selling like some chocolate bars and things like this on the train. So they don't like have a food car like you would have in Norway or something, where there's like a little restaurant. You know, I mean, it's not a great restaurant, but at least you get something edible. You know, you can order some porridge, you know, and you just mix it with hot water, and you know, at least gives you some decent calories. But yeah, now last night apparently some teenagers had a fight, and one of them pulled a knife, you know, on the security guard in our apartment complex. But we live next door to like a student house, so I don't know if they're like real teenagers or really just young adults, or I don't know what happened. But it's not any different. I mean, especially if you're coming from America, or I think this guy, he had like an Irish name or something. You know, if you're coming from England or something, it's definitely safer here for personal safety than in America or England. I mean, you don't have like this muggings and stuff. I mean, I imagine, you know, there's guys complaining that they got pickpocketed, but you know, at night, but they're drunk. You know, they're out drinking at night in the old town. So of course there's that's just like in America. If you're like drunk and you know incoherent, someone's going to take advantage of it. I mean, when I was going to school in Kansas State, guys were walking home drunk and complaining that he got beat up and everything. Well, of course. But if you're, you know, if you get up early in the morning and you're not partying in a touristic area, you'll be okay. But I'll tell you, I was in Prague, Czech Republic, and you know, it's like, just like I said, the alcohol scene invites a lot of trouble. I mean, you know, so, you know, it's just like guys were getting pickpocketed, getting, you know, there wasn't really that many like robberies. There was more, you know, they were getting tricked by the girls. Like, guy would start talking to a girl, and then someone would come from behind him and grab his wallet or grab his phone or something. You know, it's this sort of stuff. You know, so, but I mean, I don't know, I'm too old for that, I guess. Or, like I said, I stopped drinking alcohol altogether when I was like, I don't know, in my late 20s, early 30s. I just saw it as boring. It's like, okay, you know, you know, what is, you know, it wasn't fun anymore. It just seemed like a waste of time. So, and you start saving a lot of money, and you stay out of trouble, and you meet like a different people, different kind of people altogether, different mindset. So, you know, that's like big advice I tell everyone is, whatever you're doing in your life, just stop drinking. You know, it just doesn't do anything. You know, it's just a waste of time, really. So, and believe me, in Ukraine, if you don't drink, you know, people might look at you strange, but deep down, subconsciously, they respect you. There's been so much alcoholism here and so much drunkenness. You know, it's not cool. Like in America, like, you know, in college, you get drunk and everyone has a story. Oh, I got drunk and I passed out in the neighbor's yard, or passed out in the closet, or, you know, I was trying to find my room and I was sleeping in the closet and I woke up and there was like shoes everywhere. It's not cool here. It's because I guess it's just been so part of a way of life. It's not interesting. So if you're going to come here and visit, I would stand out. I would stand out and I wouldn't drink. It just, you open up, there's a whole new world. I would find a gym and go in early in the morning. You know, if you're like a single person or something, you know, go to the gym early in the morning sober, you know, and be clean cut, you know, and you know, that's more appreciated here than you know, hanging out at a bar and doing drinks all night. You know, it's just you just meet a whole different caliber of people. You know, and most all of my friends here don't drink at all either. It's all the Ukrainians I know and stuff that I work with. Most of them are non-drinkers. So it's like a big movement here of people not drinking. And like I said, it saves you a lot of money. It saves your health. You know, you can do a lot more. You can do a lot more things, you know, so yeah, there's like some other 5 address resident development. Let me just show you this. This is a new sign that popped up. There's new projects popping up everywhere. And this kind of leads me on to like, where are things going here? What are the tea leaves saying? So we've seen a lot of apartment projects restart that were like on hold for 2 years, whether it was COVID and the war, mix of both. So a lot of the projects that had been stalled are moving again. Then we're seeing a lot of new projects being advertised. You know, there's a lot of, I've seen a lot of ads for jobs with different aid organizations suddenly popping up. They need program managers. You know, they need all this kind of project managers to run these different NGOs here. So we're seeing like some, I don't know, early signs that things are going to get normalized here. I don't know, but just to caution that this was going on in Afghanistan just before the withdrawal. There was a lot of and then everything suddenly changed and people were stuck and panicking and on the run. And I'm going to avoid that. You know, I mean, I've been obsessively like reading about the election in the US and following the polls and just listening to the rhetoric. And, you know, right now it's like looking like Trump has like 266 out of the 270 electoral votes he needs. And then there's like 5 toss-up states. And only one of them looks like Biden would get if the election was tomorrow. So, but you know, I temper that we're still a long way off. But I don't know, come October, I don't think we're taking our chances. We're going to duck out for 6 months, you know, and come back in the spring of the next year after we see what happens. I mean, we'll take our most critical belongings with us, like the photographs, the photo albums. I would say that's irreplaceable, completely irreplaceable. You know, some sentimental things, we'll get that loaded up, sent over to Poland and grab it over there, and you know, put it in storage or something, you know, and then deal with it later. And then, yeah, we have a short list of places we would move to. You know, it would be, I mean, Poland is on that short list, but that would be like number 5. And then out of 5 places, Germany, Netherlands, you know, so those would be the 3 in Europe. And then there's 2 places in America. It would be Delaware or North Carolina. I ruled out Des Moines. It's not a drivable city. I mean, it's not a walkable city. You know, it's strange. Des Moines has as many people as Jersey City, New Jersey. But Jersey City, you can walk across the whole town. I've been to Jersey City many times. Got relatives there. And you can walk across that whole town in like 25 minutes from one side of Jersey City to the other. And everything is like high rises, and it's like living in Europe. You walk to the supermarket, you walk to the restaurants, you can walk to your job, walk to the Newport Mall, walk to the train station, get into Manhattan. You know, it's a pretty neat and compact place. And you go out to Iowa, you have the same amount of people, and they're spread out on an area like it's huge. And you just have to drive for every little thing. So if you want to get like a pack of gum, jump in the car and drive. You know, you want to go and visit a friend, jump in the car and drive. You know, that's just, I don't know, it's not my way of living. All that sitting and, you know, dealing with a car, it's just, takes a lot out of your life. And then I was reading about, you know, putting a kid in the car seat, taking the kid out of the car seat. It hinders their development, their mobility development and everything. And that might explain like a lot of what's happening in America, like why we've fallen off on the gold medals. I don't know, like, but there was a pediatrician talking about this, that, you know, every time you put a kid in a restraint and you drive them around, you know, they're supposed to be kicking and tossing their arms and, you know, moving around, getting blood circulation. So, yeah, a lot to consider. I mean, in America, the upside is once you get a good job there, you start earning good money. The company covers your health insurance. You know, I can get a house on a VA loan, and after 1 or 2 years, we'll be cooking. We'll be doing really well. In Europe, you get the health care, you get a lot of the social benefits, but it's very hard to move up in your career. Like, especially I took Norway off the list because you get into a job in Norway as a project manager. Normally progression is you become a program manager, become an operations officer, a product owner. There's like a progression. That doesn't usually happen in Norway. You have to change the company. They don't have this like promotion culture. You kind of just get a job. You have to hope you negotiate a good salary, and you're kind of stuck there. You know, it's, I mean, there are people who move up and everything, but it's a small country. They have their inside circles, their inside networks. I mean, the whole of Norway is smaller than like New York City. It's like the whole of Norway is like the size of the Chicago metropolitan area. So yeah, it's tough to do your own business and things like this. Like in America, you can side hustle, you can do an Etsy business, an Amazon business. You know, you can import some handmade goods from Ukraine and throw it up on Amazon. You know, you can bake cakes. You know, you can do a catering business. There's always like this side hustle thing you can do, you know, just to make a little extra. You know, as long as, you know, the key to America, a lot of people are complaining about this and that. You know, you just have to make your expectations on housing more realistic. You know, not everyone gets to live in a upscale neighborhood with great schools. You know, you can get good enough schools. You know, you can live in a smaller house, 1,200 square feet. That's like, by European standards, that's massive. I mean, here people are managing. My neighbor has 2 kids in a 60 square meter, 700 square foot apartment. You know, our apartment is like 72 square meters, so it'd be almost like 800 square feet. And it's like one of the bigger places, but in America, we would be considered poor, you know, living in a place like that. But if you actually roll back to like 1970s living standards, you know, and you cook at home. So in America, like you can get a 25-pound bag of rice, I don't know, a few bucks, you know, from an Indian grocery store. You go to these like ethnic grocery stores.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? And you get some lentils. You eat meat like once or twice a week, like some good meat. Like I was looking at actually bison meat, you know, wild bison meat. It costs twice as much as beef, but it's like packed with a lot more nutrition and tastes much better. You know, so you can treat yourself without breaking the bank, but you have most of your diet like, you know, rice, lentils, vegetables, you know, fresh fruits. You know, fruits are gotten a bit up there, but not so bad. You know, and you just control your, yeah, you just have some self-control. That's the hardest thing in America, though. In American life is having self-control, but if you can master self-control, you can do really well. And if you can level set your expectations, have reasonable expectations, and just live a modest life, you know, get a used car. I mean, driving is inevitable, but there's just places you can do less of it. So, you know, you find a place where you can walk to the supermarket and hopefully walk to the pediatrician's office. You know, and if you can get those 2 walks done, you're saving yourself a lot of driving, and get some work from home, some hybrid type job where you're working from home a few days a week. Yeah, you can start cooking. You can start saving, and then you buy some good stocks. You know, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going to be the next NVIDIA. Like, you know, there's companies like, you know, software companies, they do good, right? But they can easily be copied. And then you have companies like Tesla, Amazon, you know, that they have like done groundbreaking things, Walmart. So I'm trying to figure out like who's the next, what company is like under $100 billion market cap that could go to $1 trillion. You know, that's really a hard one to find, because like the SaaS companies like Datadog and what is it, CrowdStrike and Zscaler, yeah, they can do well, but they you know, the technology shift can really screw them. Where, you know, NVIDIA has invested for like 20 years in just their manufacturing process, and then, you know, so I don't know how much it would be really hard to knock them down, you know, but they still, you know, like we saw this with Sun Microsystems, Oracle, they can be knocked over, you know, but I don't think it's likely for a couple of years. It's going to take a while for Intel, AMD to catch up, you know, or any other. There's nothing in Europe that can catch them, that's for sure. And the Chinese are way behind on this, so I don't know where the next, but yeah, that's what I would spend my free time doing, is like looking for the companies. And I'm subscribed to like, 6, 7 newsletters, like Motley Fool, Tip Ranks, Yahoo Finance, Market Watch. But you have to be careful with these newsletters. A lot of these guys are holding bags of these stocks, and they're just trying to pump, to get out of their bags. And so you have to do your own investigation, actually go to the company website, download their presentations, read about their CEO. Yeah, you have to do your own homework. I mean, if I would have listened to those sites, I would have sold my NVIDIA a long time ago. I would have sold it at $300, and I had people telling me to sell at $400. I remember specifically telling someone at $265, buy this stock, and he's like, oh no, it's too expensive. It's already shot up so much. And here we are almost at like $900. And I personally think, I don't know, it's right now it's high, but no one else can touch them. And this AI thing is for real. I mean, maybe Tesla, maybe Tesla. Elon Musk just announced after hours that they have their taxi and everything. Maybe they'll come back. But when you have a mentally unstable CEO and he's just spewing off all this stuff, every time I've owned Tesla, I've lost money. But I'd never owned more than 10 shares. But maybe now is the time. You just can't tell with some of these companies. But I just don't see. I guess in the healthcare, maybe in a pharmaceutical company coming up with a new medicine for diabetes or something like that's where to look. And if they get it right, like that Viking Pharmaceutical. But I'm so far removed from pharma stocks, like how to study them and know if they're on the right track, if they're, because a lot can go wrong. They're trying to get these clinical trials done, and they're trying to go through these approval processes, and that's what their stock banks on. It's like very speculative. If they get that approval, then the thing goes up like 5 times. But if they don't, you lose all your money. So it's a bit of gambling. So I don't know. The only pharma stock I hold is Eli Lilly, because they've got this weight loss drug, and every analyst thing I've read said that they're the one, they can go up to $1 trillion market cap. And I heard this company name before. It's like a household name in the US. So you won't lose all your money on them. And that's what I felt about NVIDIA. That was a safe bet. They've been around since the 90s. The CEO is like really smart, went to Stanford. He talks well, and the vision was very clearly articulated on the website. But you have to do this deep dive research all yourself, because all these newsletters, they can kind of tell you where the buzz is. They can tell you like what companies right now are kind of in the favorite among the Wall Street people and among the institutional investors. The big pension funds, they go out and buy big blocks of stock and everything. And that's important too. That's important that the stock has some interest by the institutions. That's what they can tell you. So that's like a good starting point, is they give you a list of stocks. Then you have to go and drill down on all those companies yourself. And they had been talking about NVIDIA for years. NVIDIA has always been in these newsletters and stuff for years and years and years. But there were a lot of other companies they talked about too that lost money and didn't do anything. Tesla, Datadog, what's the other one? Palantir. If you caught it at the wrong time, you would have really lost your shirt. I'm trying to think of other ones that I managed to avoid, other landmines. I missed SMCI. I got in on that late, very late. I only got in on that on the last, didn't even get a double off of that. But again, there's a lot of chaff. Wheat, you got to separate the wheat from the chaff. And unfortunately, there's a lot of chaff, and sometimes you might miss a good one like SMCI. So I should have taken more time to read about that company and drill down. But that was also like some 25-year-old company run by a Taiwanese guy in Silicon Valley. Trying to think of some of these other companies that could have really, you could have gone wrong with. Roblox, I've always lost money on them too. I bought them at the IPO and at 100, and they dropped, and then they were highly recommended in Motley Fool, and it's just been going down, and then it comes up, and then it goes down again. And that's like a children's video game platform. So again, that could lose favor real quick. You know, that's subject to competitive forces, subject to just change in society type of things. But anyway, I'll let you know when I find, like right now, CrowdStrike has been something, you know, IT security, the hacking is a big one, and CrowdStrike is the one I've been acquiring, you know, slowly, cautiously. You know, if I don't know where to put money or anything, I usually put it in Amazon. Out of after NVIDIA, they seem to be the, you know, they're just part of our life, right? You buy things from them, you host your apps there. You know, they're doing their own R&D. You know, it just seems like a, you know, a good place to park. You know, at least you won't lose your money there. You know, but none of this is investment advice. This is just me rambling. You know, I probably really should get in the gym and do some exercise, but it is nice to just be outside and get this fresh air. What else? Yeah, so I'm gonna look at Tesla a bit closer. Elon Musk babbled something, it shot up after hours. Maybe I'll take out a call on it. Apple, yeah, Apple's the other one. Apple hasn't done anything all year. Now I have a friend, he's like an executive at Apple working for Tim Cook. You know, I knew this guy in the Navy. He had mentioned that this Vision Pro might be a game changer, but then I've seen yes, he's my friend and everything, but of course he's biased, but all the reviews I've seen on this Vision Pro is expensive, it's big, it's kind of clunky. So maybe that's like the iPhone 1. Maybe pretty soon it'll become like a pair of glasses, like sunglasses you wear, and the battery's built in and it's solar powered, or, you know, powered off your body heat. Until then, I don't think it'll be a revolution. It's just a lot of apparatus to strap on and walk around with, you know. So we'll see, maybe that would be a good one. But, you know, call options, the thing is the time works against you. You know, they quickly expire. The other one I got out of, I had SoundHound options, you know, 2 years out, but I just sold them off. There's, you know, SoundHound is like cutting people to, you know, get positive earnings. Since when did earnings matter? You know, you want to get market share and then you worry about earnings later. You want to take losses and, you know, expand your market share and improve your products, but they cut a lot of people, so that just didn't seem like a good one. But so far, like, NVIDIA is like 90%, and the other 10% is spread out among, like I say, Amazon, Eli Lilly, and then I got some call options. Like, I just buy one. I'm not buying like big amounts, like spend a couple $100 on those to see where they go. And I bought Reddit stock. I see some potential here. You know, Reddit has only got half the valuation of Pinterest. You know, half, or I think 3/4 now. They caught up and then they've gone down. But I'm selling calls on Reddit, you know, covered calls, you know, so selling people an option to buy my stock from me at a set price and time, and you collect the premium. That seems like a good stock for that. I mean, maybe they'll re-engineer a bit and get up their users, but I have interesting discussions on Reddit. I learned a lot about Des Moines. You know, you get like a lot of first-hand knowledge on Reddit. I find it incredibly useful. Pinterest is just, I used to be on Pinterest a lot, you know, when I had the Norwegian jewelry company. It doesn't do anything. I don't know, it's just, it's lame. And Reddit is less value than Pinterest. And Reddit is engaging and it's interactive, and you get like eye-level advice. I mean, granted, I got kicked out of a few groups there because of my opinions, but you know, that happens in Reddit too. But in general, it's got some use. So yeah, I got some shares of that, but yeah, that's all I got. Well, I better get my workout done. You all have a nice day.